Good evening to everyone. Welcome to Global Online. And here we are back with our NTA UGC NET Paper 1 preparation for 2022 batch. As you are all aware that July 2022 cycle, few cycle, I mean to say few papers are over. So based on the analysis of the same, we are preparing for August 2022 cycle. And for the same, we have brought up important and to be revised topics of research aptitude. Yesterday, we have done the topics for teaching aptitude, and today we have brought the topics for research aptitude. So in this, we have, before we go ahead, let me announce you that we have a quick revision PDF for paper 1, which consists of 2000 plus MCQs, which are updated MCQs, current affairs, which are previous year question papers and most repeated questions. Definitely this particular revision PDF is going to help you to an extent of 80 to 90% for your paper 1, and you can completely rely on this particular PDF. Apart from this, we also have a crash course for paper 1, which consists of daily live lecture, notes on all the topics, last 10-year question papers, test series consisting of 2,500 questions, which you can do it with the help of Global Online app, which you can download with the help of Global Online app, or you can download with the help of, you can contact us with the help of WhatsApp number. The fees for the same is 3,500. Now 30% off is going on. So you can get the same for the fees of, for the amount of 2,450. At the same time, you can go on Global Online app with the following instructions. You can download it with the help of Google Play Store. You can register it with the help of mobile number. Then you can, after purchasing the course, you can get such type of interface where under the content, you can see all the units. Okay. These units are as per your syllabus, which consist of theory lectures, MCQ lectures, notes, mock test, and evaluation test. And this will help you to give, everything under one roof, under one umbrella, and it will help you to revise it not only in this cycle, but for a period of, 1 year. So definitely you can take the opportunity. For paper 2, if you are looking for the notes and MCQs, that is also available. Paper 2 subjects are reflected on the screen, so you can see the subjects on the screen. And the fees for same is 1,500. The year also we have a 30% discount going on. So the fees is 1,050. You can ping us on the WhatsApp number, which is given below. Now, yes, in research, you have totally 5 questions. Total marks allotted is 10. The syllabus for research aptitude is basically the meaning, type, characteristics, positivism and post-positivistic approach, methods of research, which includes experimental, descriptive, historical, qualitative, and quantitative, steps of research, thesis and article writing, application, and research ethics. Now, application of ICT in research, actually no question was seen in this July cycle, but it doesn't mean that there won't be any question. You have to be prepared for any type of question. At least you have to go through it. But we are going to focus on more important topic, which is definitely going to come. So yes, you don't have anything related to research meaning, but before we start, let's quickly have a, understanding. Research is nothing but, a careful investigation about the new facts, or you can say about the branch of, knowledge. So it is basically something which is scientifically investigated with the help in the search of knowledge. So the more emphasis was on the characteristics of research. So research is logical, systematical. It helps in investigation, that is in order to find the solutions to scientific and social problems. It definitely has, the different sources like experience, human beings, books, journals, nature, etc. And it can lead to contributions of existing knowledge. So research is nothing but, you can say that it is a careful and detailed study of a specific problem, which is concerned with, scientific methods. So research is basically planned, which is something which is planned in advance, which is something which has a systematic approach, which collects empirical data. This word again and again is used in some or other way in research. So the real-time data, you can say, which should be objective, accurate. It has an in-depth analysis, which is logical, reliable, which is very factual, controllable, verifiable, relevant, generalized, and which is ethical. So yes, the characteristics of research are, very important, because there are questions seen on characteristics of research. So basically the question can come in the statement format or code format, and you should be able to ensure that these questions are cracked very well. Then we also have the objectives of research. So basically the objectives are to discover the facts, okay, to verify and test the important facts, to analyze, the phenomena, to develop the scientific tools, concepts, and theories to solve and understand the scientific problems, to find out the solutions as well as to overcome the problems. So these are basically important objectives of research, or you can say the objectives which has, the objectives which has definitely to important role to play in the research. Now, yes, so under types of research, we have definitely certain points. Okay, so let us see what these points are talking about. So we have theoretical objectives, factual objectives, and applied objectives. It can be divided in any form. So theoretical objectives, it is formulation of new theories, knowledge, exploring the association between variables used in fundamental research. So these are the theoretical objectives. Factual objectives consist of facts, okay, which are used, which are it means finding the fact used in history, or in the exploratory research. And applied objectives, which is already existing uh, uh, theories to new situations, which are used to apply the research. So basically, um, theoretical objectives plays an important role in formulation, factual objective plays an important role in facts, and applied objectives plays an important role in the application. Now, yes, there are questions seen on qualitative and quantitative. You have to be very, very confirm, because these things, again and again, qualitative and quantitative research are repeated. So you should be very confirm with qualitative and quantitative research. So qualitative research, it involves quality, whereas quantitative research involves quantity. So qualitative research is about understanding of the problems which cannot be quantified, whereas quantitative research is something about it is used to quantify a problem or attitude or a behavior or opinion. Qualitative research is open-ended, that is inductive in nature, that is specific to general, whereas uh, quantitative research is close-ended, that is deductive, general to specific. So when we talk about qualitative research, like for example, if you take study conducted to know why people suffer and with mental disorders, how that mental disorders can affect someone's personal life, that is the qualitative research meaning. Whereas in quantitative research, how much they suffer, so you need to find out the quantity about their sufferings, that is how much in nature. So qualitative research, it is semi structured or unstructured, whereas quantitative research is something which is completely which is structurized. So the difference between fundamental and applied research. So fundamental research is something which is used for generalizing and to make addition to the existing knowledge base, whereas applied research is used for some specific social or business issue. Fundamental research is conducted for formulating theories, formulating, please remember, whereas applied research is conducted to find out a particular problem or to analyze to analyze a particular issue. A structured research and unstructured research. So when in structured research, it is basically it is in the search of objective design, sample, or it is all pre-decided. It is structured, no, so it is all pre-planned. Unstructured, it allows flexibility with respect to objectives, and they are not pre-decided. It means they are not pre-planned. A structured research is used in quantitative research to know the extent of the problem, whereas unstructured research is useful in qualitative research to know about the nature of the problem. Conceptual research, it is based on establishing a concept or a theory based on observation or intellectual, and not the experiments. So it is something which is based on a specific concept, whereas empirical research, it involves performing experiments in order to test the theories, or in order to form the base for new theories. Conceptual research is based on theoretical approach, and it is used to develop new theories or you can say it is also used to redefine the already existing one. Empirical research, it is based on practical and experimental approach. Whereas the structured research I have just repeated, so I'll just cancel it out over here. You have already done this research. Descriptive and analytical research. Yes. So when we talk about descriptive research, it is simply to explain, okay, to describe the situation, the problem or phenomena. Whereas analytical research, it is basically why it has occurred or how it has occurred. So the why and hows are answered over here. Descriptive research gives description, classification, comparison, whereas analytical research gives the cost and effect relationship. Descriptive research is used in order to analyze, example like trends of prices, or analytical research is the reason, I mean to say, why there is a rise in price or what is the reason behind rise in price. It is helped describe that. Positivism and post-positivism. So I have two slides for positivism and post-positivism. So it will help you to understand, okay? So the positivism is something which believes in reality and which can be quantified. It is quantitative. Whereas post-positivism, it believes in new knowledge and it supports the committed movement. It helps to support the committed movement. So positivism is something which is based on, believes in true and objective reality that can be studied through applying the methods and principles. Whereas post-positivism, it is based on theories, hypotheses, and the value of the researcher. Positivism denies intuition and concerns with objectivity, whereas post-positivism, they are more concerned with subjectivity. So positivism, we can say it is more towards objectivity. Post-positivism, it's concerned with subjectivity. So positivism approach is scientific in nature, that is, it has scientific study, whereas post-positivism is something the study based on experience. So when we talk about positivism, the approach to study of the society that relies specifically on scientific evidence, such as experiments, statistics, which reveals the nature, okay? Whereas post-positivism, it talks about, the human behavior, or it includes, the laws which are governed, which are used to govern the physical world. So positive, as we studied now, positivist prefers quantitative methods, like official statistics or social surveys or questionnaires or structurized, okay? So positivism is basically something which is more into, just now we studied, it is more into quantification, okay, which requires, requires research to be reliable and presentative. Now, steps in research. Yes, there is only one cycle in which in July 2022, only in one shift, okay, there was a question seen on this particular topic, that is steps. But as I told you, the question on steps of research process definitely comes. So you need to know the steps very carefully, though you are very careful when the question comes, they are just twisting the question. So you have to be very, very specific on those steps. So selecting the topic, defining the problem, reviewing the literature, developing the objective, identifying the variables and formulating the hypothesis, preparing the research design, carrying out sampling, collection of data, performing the data analysis and hypothesis testing, carrying out the generalization and interpretation, and then writing a research report. So selecting a topic is an initial step, and it ends down with what? It ends down with writing a research report. Then we have research layers. So maybe both, basically you will get a question on it in any form, but I just want you to know that research philosophy. So when we talk about philosophy, it includes positivism, interpretivism, and pragmatism. When we talk about approaches, it includes inductive, deductive, qualitative, and quantitative. When we talk about strategies, it includes experimental, action, and case study. When we talk about choices, it includes either the qualitative, quantitative, or either the mono method or a mixed or multi-method. Time horizons, which includes cross-sectional or longitudinal research, and techniques and procedure, which has data collection, analysis, or sampling. So under, yes, this slide, sorry, I've just misplaced. This slide is about positivism, post-positivism only. The thing is, I have highlighted some important points. So you can just, same thing we revised now, but it is highlighted. So you can just, keep this in mind with respect to revision. Then, yeah, yes. So I have just added some examples over here. So positivism uses large samples, whereas post-positivism uses small samples. Positivism is concerned with hypothesis testing, whereas post-positivism, it concerns with generalizing the theories. Positivism data is highly specific and precise, whereas in post-positivism, it is rich and subjective. So positivism, reliability is high, and post-positivism, reliability is low. Okay. Now coming to the difference between explorative and descriptive research. So when we talk about exploratory research, the research is which is flexible, whereas descriptive or diagnostic, it is rigid. Explorative research is non-probability sample design, whereas descriptive, it is, probability sample design. Exploratory, it is nothing is pre-planned, whereas in a descriptive, everything is planned properly. So when we say it is not pre-planned, it means it is unstructured, okay, or descriptive, it is something which is structurized. So explorative, that is no fixed decision about, is, about the operation is known, whereas in descriptive, we have advanced decision. So maybe, you will definitely get some questions like code-wise questions where you should be able to answer this. Yes, now cross-questional and longitudinal, again, here students get confused, though it is very simple, but still, there is some confusion in students. So we'll just quickly do it. So when I say cross-sectional, it means there are, samples taken from various section, okay, at a given simple point of time. So different section. Whereas when we say longitudinal, it is same sample over the years. So cross-sectional, it is very quick to conduct as compared to longitudinal, and longitudinal takes a lot of time, or it may even run towards decades. Cross-sectional studies conducted at any given point of time, but yes, longitudinal research, it has to, it needs to revisit the participants at a regular or intervals or at a proper intervals. Cross-sectional studies cannot pin down the cause and effect relationship, yes, but longitudinal study can pin down the cause and effect relationship. Cross-sectional, multiple variables can be studied, whereas in longitudinal, only a single variable can be studied. So there can be a question on this also. Cross-sectional study is comparatively cheaper, whereas longitudinal, it is much more expensive because it has to be elongated for a longer period of time. Then yes, now hypothesis directly, there is no syllabus topic of hypothesis, but yes, questions are seen. So hypothesis topic I'm doing now, but at the same time, no hypothesis topic, you need to ensure that it is done with the help of what? With the help of previous year question papers also, so that it will become, perfect. So when we say hypothesis, it's a tentative statement, which is, yes, subject to verification. So without verification, you cannot, frame the statement. Yes, it requires a solution and a realistic solution. And it is, as I said, it shows the tentative relationship between the variables. So, and only it can be proved, it is subjected to empirical or experimental verification. So it is conceptual in nature. It means, it has a conceptual framework. It's a verbal statement, but it has an empirical referent. Without it, it cannot be proved. It has a forward or future reference, that is also important, and it has a scientific research. It is the pivot of the scientific research. It's very, very important. Function, so it is a temporary solution. Basically, what to study with the possible solutions it leads to. It helps to formulate another hypothesis. It is basically, it's a preliminary hypothesis that shapes the final hypothesis. So you can say it is founded at the base level, but at the same time, it is something which, it take the shape of final hypothesis after proving it. And it is a definite statement. I mean to say a statement which needs a verification. And but yes, when you form the statement, it is a definite statement. So in hypothesis, the functions are you to delimit the investigation, to sensitize the researcher, to collect the evidence for verification. Yes, it focuses on research. It is called as, investigator's eye. As it focuses on the research, it is very clear and specific. It helps to prevent blind research. It gives direction to research. It sensitizes the investigator. It means certain aspects of the situation which are not relevant, which are irrelevant, you can say. They are, from the standpoint of problem at hand, can be it can help the investigator to remove that or to ignore that, and they can focus towards relevant points. And it gives clarity to the problem, that is with, and it's ramification. Ramification, it means, which can be ethically proved. You can say that it is ethically taken into consideration. So you have null hypothesis, alternate hypothesis. So null hypothesis, which is represented by HO, alternate hypothesis, which is represented by H1 or HA. So the null hypothesis is a negative statement, whereas alternate hypothesis is a positive statement. So if one gets rejected, another gets accepted. If it's vice versa, depending upon the verification. Yes, you have errors. So there is a question on error on hypothesis. So type 1 error is when basically it is, type 1 error when is occurred when a researcher rejects a null hypothesis that is actually true. So something has been true, it's rejected, is called as type 1 error. And something which is, which has one which is false but accepted. So that is called as what? That is called as type 2 error. So something which needs to actually rejected is accepted. So something which has to be rejected is, something which is rejected, which is actually true, and something which is, which is false, but it is actually accepted. So when it is rejected, it is type 1 error noted by alpha, and when it is accepted, it is type 2 error, that is beta. This is what we have learned for type 1 and type 2 error. Then yes, I have taken this topic, though there is no question on this, but maybe you can, it will help you. So population and sample. So population is nothing but a whole group, sample is a part. Population is based on, the parameters, whereas sample on statistics. Parameters are generally unknown, whereas population statistics are known. Parameters are fixed, and samples, the statistics can be changed with the sample. So parameter it's the one which describes the population. Statistics is the one which describes the sample. Sampling frame is the one which is, which indicates the device where the sample is drawn from. And sample design, it indicates the methodology or a plan, a roadmap for a methodology and plan. So techniques, yes, data collection. So primary data can be in the form of observation, interview, questionnaire, or focus group. And secondary data with the help of publication, journals, magazines, reports, research, reports by the scholars or public records. Now, as I told you in one of the shift, they had asked about this style of referencing. So I have always told you that style of referencing you need to practice, because that's the reason I have given you what the style will be and what the example will be. So there is no explanation in this, but you have to remember that's the reason every time I'm reflecting APA style, which is one of the styles. So you get question in any form, whether it is APA, Chicago, or Harvard style. So I've listed your APA style, that is American Psychological Association. I've listed Harvard style with an example. I've listed MLA, that is Modern Language Association, again with an example, and the Chicago style. So the name, the article, the journal, the volume, the publication, the page number, all has to be, a part of your style. And every style has a way of different presentation. So every style should be, listed in a very specific way. Then we have research ethics. Yes, so definite question is going to come on research ethics. Now, all those students who have revised previous year question paper, research ethics questions are very much, easier. So basically you need honesty, objectivity, integrity, and careful attitude. At the same time, it has to be open, it has to be confidential, it has to be, a responsible publication, and it has to be mentoring. So research ethics is something which research ethics is something which has to be, reported with the research ethics is done within reporting, and it has to have to follow all this parameters, you can say, or characteristics, in order to come up with, the ethical format of ethics, that is reporting a research. So yes, there should be non-discrimination, responsibility, legality, competency. At the same time, there should be no fabrication, that is making of data which it is completely wrong, and falsification, that is manipulating the research or the process or the equipment. So this is very, very important and should be kept in mind. So yes, these were the very important topics which were, emphasized from 2022 August 2022 cycle. So tomorrow we'll be coming up with a new unit so that it will help you to go for a last minute revision. After this, at least one revision you have to do with this topic, and that's all. 1 hour, even if you sit, this all will be done, and you will be definitely free, from this revision. And these are the most important topics and are definitely going to come in the examination. Thank you, everyone.